You're comfortable?
Very. You've seen even the ankle. There I'm seated like this. I'm like, oh God, Mama, can you go to sleep?
Thank you for agreeing to be on Crid's Corner podcast. It's an honor to have you. So if you could start by introducing yourself and telling us who you care for or who you have cared for in the past.
Fine. So my name is Florence Bwire. I am a mother of 2, and in terms of taking care of individuals with critical illness, I would say I've taken care of 2 cases. These are my children, my daughter and my son.
Right. So what was the situation with them?
I would say the conditions we are dealing with were more or less those that are genetic. Because for my daughter, we realized she had critical illness at the age of 9 months.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
so 9 months, one day you get home from work and you find the child is stiffened. You take this child to hospital and you're taken round all manner of tests. And after all manner of diagnoses, guesswork here and there, eventually you are told this is an epileptic case.
Oh, wow.
And then in addition to that, the child is asthmatic. So from the age of 9 months,
wow,
I had to take care of this child. And thereafter got a follow-up for her after 4 years. And right at birth, I realized this is another critical case.
At birth?
At birth, yes. My last born boy was born wheezing. But at least by then I was enlightened. I could tell this is an indication of someone with asthma. So he was born wheezing. Instead of being given my child to take with me to the ward, I was told this one will be taken to the nursery for observation before you are the child is released to go home.
Wow.
So at least then I understood what I was going to do with.
I mean, you're expecting your first child's cry to be this sharp, clear cry, and then you're hearing a wheeze. Was that scary? I mean, I'd imagine it is.
It wasn't. For me, it wasn't, because I had gone through more scary experience with the elder child. Right. So for this one, it was known. In fact, the medics were surprised that a non-medic is able to diagnose a condition right at birth. Because they were surprised when I asked, you mean asthmatic conditions are acquired even before birth? Because this kid is wheezing at birth. He scored quite well, that's the first cry, but immediately after he began wheezing. Yes, so I could tell right on the spot that this is another case. But since I knew this is genetic, I wasn't so shocked. I wasn't so shocked. I had come to terms with that.
Wow. Okay, and how long were you in this caregiving role for your 2 children?
I would say throughout their childhood to early adulthood. Now when the kids were able to manage themselves. But of course, I still had to continue giving support. Yes. Like now I can tell when my son calls, I can tell he's not well. And therefore,
from the voice.
Yes, from the voice, and the instinct kicks in, and I take up from there. So every other moment you are on phone. Have you done this? Have you done that? So as much as we are talking of adulthood, some responsibilities do not come to an end. Yes, I would say especially parental. You feel it is your responsibility. As much as you say, once a child is at the age of majority, you let go, but you really can't. Because for my daughter, by the time she was passing on, she was 27, but every phone call, I would still panic. What is it this time? How do I come in? What can I do?
Instinctively.
So even from a distance, remotely, you're still monitoring the condition.
So what did a typical day look like for you, juggling 2 kids with chronic conditions and a full-time job?
Initially it was crazy. Crazy. I think I do not know where I got the resilience to cope, because at some point I used to think I would break down. I would have a mental breakdown, because anytime someone called me, I would assume it's about the child. Yes. So I was always on the edge. Yes, even at work, always on the edge, making phone calls, reaching out. How is the child? Every other moment, because illness would strike at any time. Without even warning. One moment you're talking, the next you are rushing somebody to hospital. And they are not twins, but once one falls sick, I think out of sympathy, the other follows.
Oh my goodness.
You take one to hospital, as you get back home, the second is down. So at times it would be so tough. I think for maternal strength, I was able to cope.
Especially how severe they were clearly being. Can imagine.
I was able to cope to the extent that at the age of 9, I actually took my daughter to boarding.
Wow.
Yes. And it was not even high-end boarding school. We said, since you're willing, you've expressed interest, let us put you in a public school. But managing was not that easy. The child would go with medication, and her box was like a pharmacy. Because I had to buy the medicine envelopes and put all the drugs, label by date. Yes. So on monthly basis, I would go to school with my container of medication labeled for every day until the next visit. Then I hand that over to the matron so that the child is given the drugs if it is morning, midday, evening. So somehow we coped. It wasn't easy, but we came to terms with that condition, and therefore it became the norm.
I mean, they were children. How do you stop them from triggering themselves when they're playing with other kids? Because with asthma, anajua hiyo ni baridi.
They know it's what they'll eat. They know it's exposure. But children being children, there are times when they would forget, because they want to be like everybody else. Yes, so definitely it will be triggered.
So there were a lot of those moments.
So definitely it would happen. It would happen even right at home. When you turn your back and the child is out there playing, they will leave the jumper. Once they start sweating, they find it's uncomfortable, being the only ones overdressed. So they drop the jumper, and next moment somebody is calling you, Mama so and so, your baby is down. You go for it.
I can't imagine.
But I tried so much to guide them on self-management, and then I made it a point to let anyone interacting with them know their condition. So I never withheld the information. I would say, in case you see this, then this is going to happen. Kindly notify me or take this kind of step. So I involved those who are interacting with the kids. So that they would support me, because I would not be around them 24/7.
That's right. You can only protect them so much. So now, in all of this, what about caregiving has surprised you the most?
Coping with the course. At times wondering, how did I manage it? Because for the better part of the childhood, I am a public servant, and back then I think things have improved. At least now government has good medical covers for staff. Then you'd be given a meager medical allowance, an allowance that cannot buy even one type of drug, or it's not even enough for the consultation fee. But through some miracles, I was able to juggle and raise resources. Yes, I would visit both private and public health institutions and manage. So each day as we progressed, and I could see these children are surviving, to me it was a miracle. It was quite surprising. And when they went beyond 21, I recall I would be asked, Wako? That's the kind of question I would be asked by those who knew my children. Wako? Because most people do not expect them to survive. Yes. So when I put both through boarding primary, and of course you are called and you have to get a medical facility close by, you recommend, just to take them. At times you don't have to wait for me to come, just to take. And the medics take care of them. You are consulting on phone, giving them information. They take care of the child gets by the time you are arriving, they have already been attended to. For me, I would say those were my surprises and miracles. Most of for my daughter, I recall there is a medic who handled her for 4 years in Kitale. I have never met that doctor. I have never met the doctor. It was just a medic recommended by a friend who was in Kitale. I told the school, in case she falls sick, don't take to the public facility, take her to this place. So they would take on arrival. The clerk calls me, I say, kindly proceed, tell Daktari to proceed. Once you are done, send me the bill. Yes, so every phone call I received, I would start looking for resources to pay Daktari. And we managed.
Somehow.
We managed. We managed with those years. We managed post secondary school. And where we are.
So, of all these incidences with the kids, what was the one that made you really question if you're going to make it through?
The stiffening of my daughter, especially those epileptic seizures. Many a times I would feel like this child will not make it. And I used to behave like a mad person, I believe, because I would carry the child. When I get to the medical facility, I even bypass the triage and the documentation. I just go to the nursing station. I tell them, ndio huyo, akiamka mniambie. Yes, I give them, ndio huyo. And I was always told, you are very fast. You are very fast, because if you came an hour or two later, the child would not have made it. Because by the time you're leaving house, you have to navigate public means to get to a medical facility.
Right. You're not driving at the time.
And no, for public means matatus or buses, you have to wait until they get full.
Yeah. They don't just start moving.
So you're there with your child with the eyes rolled out.
It has been so
If
scary.
this one survives, it's by grace. And indeed the grace was sufficient because they made it. Especially for my daughter, her situation was so bad.
That sounds so scary.
So bad. You know, you are handling an epileptic seizure, and because of that distress, it triggers asthmatic.
Yeah.
So you are dealing with two conditions at a time.
Two very serious ones.
Very serious. So the medics really have to support.
Really did.
My house was like a pharmacy. I tell people, even right now, I still have what we were using for nebulization, the kit. I've never thrown them away. I still have, yes. Because I was told, at some point I was told, Mama, these things can be reused. So you just bring, we sterilize, and then the child uses. Instead of you paying for this, next time you pay for another kit. I still have the kit. I even forgot to dispose.
You never know. Someone could be really helped with it.
Yeah, so I still have the kit, and now it could be used for both. Whoever I'm taking to hospital when I'm going, I carry my kit with me. So that when it gets there, they sterilize and then they use it for the child. I even had to learn to administer some drugs. Because for the girl, I would be told, for this condition, you have to control fever. Because little slight fever would just trigger an episode. So I had drugs where you are told you have to break this vial and then you apply it per rectal. So you are applying that, you are keeping this, trying to bring down the fever as you now dash to a medical.
So it's just enough to keep her alive till you get to hospital.
There.
Wow.
I'm very certain if I go around my house, some of those vials are still there.
Expired, obviously.
Definitely, decades after.
Wow.
Because I had to keep them. It was the only way I would ensure that I take precautions before we get to the medical facility.
For sure. I mean, what would you say is one part of this entire caregiving process that's really overlooked? I mean, by people like myself who've not had a caregiving role.
I would say, out of ignorance, you'll be given all manner of advice. And some of this advice may be detrimental to the patient. Yes, so it's so overwhelming when, especially we women, you rarely get that advice from men. It's women, because we are the primary caregivers for children. Yeah. So some of the advice you are given, if you're not careful, it can make you worsen the condition. Yes. And of course, part of it even triggers more stress on your part. Because someone may be like, are you sure you did not do this that has led to? These are stereotypes. Stereotypes, instead of giving you the necessary support to cope, they really wear you down. Because someone is looking for a reason to point an accusation at you and maybe other parties. Though for my case, I knew because my mom had already mentioned to me she was asthmatic. Much as we did see her really going down, but she kept telling us how her condition was growing up. And then my case was the norm. So I grew up knowing I have asthma. So now my kids get it. I know, this is hereditary. Yes, so I'm able to accept that. For the epilepsy, I came to learn much later that it was also genetic. Though at times I doubt if it was really genetic, because when you read more, I may not have asked the doctor's mouth. They were diagnosing. When you read more, you're like, maybe it's how you handled the child at some point.
Yeah.
Because I strongly feel like my daughter, the trigger could have been a fall. I always recall a fall when she was so young. We had a young caregiver who was so playful, and at one time the child fell, hit the head. So I always feel that might have been the trigger, not the genetic factor, because the genetic factor, when you look at it, you find that it may or may not, because now that is from now the paternal grandfather. When you're told the paternal grandfather had this, and then also had, what do we call, diabetes. Yeah, so when you're told, but this is also in this family. Oh, okay, so it is genetic. And nobody chooses their genes. You just cope.
That's the thing.
You manage. You find a way.
You learn to survive.
Yes. Because it happens, and by the time you are realizing, you're already there.
That's true.
Didn't choose. They didn't choose.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
So at what point did you experience something that reminded you, yes, this is why I do this. This is why I pour my heart out to taking care of these kids. What was that moment?
I think that love for my children. I always say this. Initially, I was not the kind of person who loved babies. I had seen so many growing up in my family. My family is big, and we really had, I had so many followers. So I was one person who never was interested in having children. But the moment the child came, maternal instinct. And so anything touching, even now, I'd say people still laugh. Why are you treating an adult like a child? You know, that love for your child
never goes
for
away.
me, I was like, I would give anything to ensure my child is in good condition. Yes. I say, if these supplements that are sold via multi-level marketing, I've been there. I have been there with GNLD. I've been there with BF Suma. I've been there with so many others. I recall there is another one which was Chinese in nature. I can't recall. But anything I'm told, I say, I would rather take out a loan and go for this so that this child is better. Because for me, it was a case of, if the child is well, I'm well. If this child survives, I'm okay. If anything happens to this child, I am done for.
That's true.
So I felt like my life was really tied to my children. And I would even sense they are falling sick from remote location. I call them like, I think so and so is not feeling well. Have you checked on that child? Yes, and sure enough you'll be told this is the case. So that strong bond with the kids made me feel, by all means, I have to give it my very best. Yes.
This feels, forgive me if it's an ignorant perspective, it feels like a very extreme ideology to have, to give anything. So how do you protect your own mental health when you're taking care of such extreme cases?
Interestingly, you forget about yourself. For me, I would say I completely forgot about myself, because I recall an incident where I had from a colleague, being a teacher, and you interact with the students. So I had from a colleague a comment that had been made by students. Mwalimu so and so can even come to school in slippers. You know, the way you just forget about self. It's everything you have has to go through towards this. Yes. Yeah. You even forget about your health. And I tell people, I think God works miracles, because I forgot I was asthmatic for those very crucial years when my children were really down. I don't recall taking any drug for asthma at all. At all. I'm talking of between 1996 and 2015. No drugs. But now when they were able to cope somehow, my
Your body remembered.
So I think I just forgot about myself, and all focus was on those I was taking care of. And I would say indeed it's by grace that I survived. Probably because of where I was. Definitely you have individuals who encourage you.
That's right.
I recall one incident when I said that was my daughter, kama alikuwa aende Mungu sumchukue, so that I rest. I recall the female colleagues coming to me, and they comforted me, counseled me, and told me everything. You know, I was giving up. You look at my income, what I need for this, and you receive your pay today, by tomorrow you're giving everything to Dr. So you really have to juggle left to right, look for jobs here and there, and still take care of that child in the home. So at least I think I may not have got professional help, but the women around me kind of held my hand. Yeah, so they were a support system that I may not have appreciated at that point. But for now, having gone through some counseling and being a professional counselor, I would say I received counseling without knowledge. Because to a great extent, for them it was from spiritual perspective. Yes, where they'll come, talk to you about faith and the like, and what you should do as you are handling this. And
okay, that's good. At least you had a support system. I can't imagine going through all that with no one in your corner, no one to run to when you're feeling like giving up.
And then even the employer. So government is a good employer. Government is a good employer because at no one time did I receive any adverse report for absenteeism. Because many a times you went home around this hour, the child is well, but between 11 and midnight, just as you're going to bed, it happens. So you have to go to hospital at night, you are admitted, then you have to make that phone call from a booth in the morning. And so my employers have always been supportive, very, very supportive. There is no one time when I was told there may be dire consequences for absenteeism. I even recall a time where when I would be given transport by my employer. I called the principal, and the principal instructs the driver to take me to hospital with the child. So I think that kind of support really helped. Yeah, so I didn't break down, I didn't crash.
These are angels in seasons.
I tell you.
So now, if there's someone out there, any of my listeners, who would be in a similar position, a young mother or a nanny who's taking care of a child in with a chronic illness or a critical condition like that, what would your advice be?
Anytime, ensure you are working with professionals and get a support system, because in your social circles, when you have a good support system, you can cope. I say so because I had a neighbor who would live with my children. In fact, I used to exchange. As I'm taking one to the hospital, I drop the other at her place. When I come back with the other, I leave now this one with their medication at her place. I pick the other. So I could not entrust the children with the house help. I would feel, no, I need an adult to be on the lookout. So with that support system, and then not hiding, just disclose the condition of the person you are dealing with, so that others are aware and they can come to your aid. When you fail to disclose, you create room for suspense, rumors, and some of these rumors may not augur well with you, because it's very, very painful dealing and handling such cases. But when you disclose and people are aware of what you're going through, then they definitely will give you support. But over and above everything, you need to take good care of yourself, because when you crash, those you are taking care of may not have the necessary support. So they, on their part, may lose life, their condition may worsen. So when you take good care of yourself, indeed, you are able to take good care of those who are living with this critical illness.
Okay, you said to take care of yourself. How do you take care of yourself now? I mean, they're gone, as in they're not 100% dependent on you now. They're more independent. So now that you are, forgive me for saying, free from that responsibility, how are you taking care of yourself?
For me, I would say I'm prioritizing my health. I'm prioritizing my health by ensuring I just live a healthy life, and anytime I feel something is weighing me down, and it may be, an after effect of all those, because for me, I've always asked God, why me? Because like I put it, I'm from a huge family, big, we are many, but I seem to have carried the burden of ill health. I seem to be the one who has
so your
really...
siblings don't have it like this?
Their children do, but none to the extent of mine. Mine were the worst. Yes, I would say in the household for my siblings, we have asthmatics, but none is as severe as my children. So somehow I think my children got double dose because I had it, their father had it. So then they got double dose.
Oh dear.
Theirs was double. double. So I'm like, why me? Then I say, from my analysis, even the good book says the temptations that will be placed your way are not those that you cannot manage. So when I ask God why, I realized, no, it was to strengthen me, because if not me, then who? Yes, because if I managed, and at no one time was I unable, and I was managing this and supporting so many others, then I was the right person to carry this, to bear this.
Because now you're a pioneer to all these people now who are coming after you. They can look at your story and take a thing or two.
Yeah, so I would say take care. And I never shy away from telling others. I've on several occasions told other people. I recall telling a neighbor's child, I called her at one point, I told her, Mom, I'm observing this and this and this with you. Do you mind telling your mom to do something about it? So she didn't get it right. She went and told the mom. Then the mom is like, hey, Nini, you told my daughter. I told her, by the way, this is my observation. And if you don't nip this early, the consequences may be dire.
That's true.
Yeah. So it did. She took it up. I was surprised that an unmedic has noticed something about her child that she did not know. So yes, indeed, I would say I'm taking good care of myself, and I tell others my story. Yes, I've never shied away from sharing my story. I tell others, I repeat it, I tell them, this is real, it can happen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it can happen, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it can happen, and you can conquer these conditions. Yes, you can conquer.
I mean, you've had it all your years, and you're managing just fine, and still living a very active life.
In fact, there are those who did not know me those years before 2015. When I give them my story, they're like, "You can't be serious.
How?
Is this real? Is this true? You can't be serious." I say, "No, this happened. Yeah, this happened." Is those who are where I was who may know, but for you, since you are not there, it sounds like a folk tale, a fairy tale. This doesn't sound real. Yeah.
Now, when you are going through it with the babies who are all critically ill, what is one thing you wish people would have known or understood about what it was like to be a caregiver?
I would have wished for more understanding. Yes, for more understanding. Because as much as I talk of the social support, there are those elements who come in with negative thoughts. If there is something I've never liked in my life, it's individuals who talk in terms of spiritism and then the black magic and the like. When somebody tells you, they are possessed by what? From where?
The epilepsy thing.
Yes.
Yeah, people tend to assume that.
So you're like, why would you even say this? If it is a condition that is diagnosed medically, why do you think there would be other parties at play? Yeah. Because when you say that, you now want me to link it with another, and it will affect our relations. So that understanding is very important. I say, if you do not understand, then you're better off not talking about it.
Or at least just ask. Ask and be willing to listen.
Because that failure to understand, you can really mess up another part. You can mess up another part.
And you're already going through so much to have to start defending yourself again. Yeah, I can see how that's annoying.
Yeah, it is very, very annoying.
Yeah.
I had those instances. I would get worked up And then I'm like, at the end of the day, it's only I who understands where I'm coming from.
That's right, yeah. But then one
I
knows your struggle.
understand the struggle, so it's not everybody's struggle. It's not everybody's struggle at all.
And I feel like that's one of the toughest lessons to learn, when you stop looking for validation in your sickness or your struggle from other people, because you're the only one who's actually going through it. Not even your children would be able to understand your perspective. Yeah.
I called my son, not even understanding. One time, this enlightening of children at times is not good for parents. When you are trying to protect and the baby tells you, you are violating my rights.
What?
Yes, so you're not going out to play, it is cold, it's damp. No, you're violating my rights to play. I'm going to call this number.
What?
Let me tell you. Hey, this generation.
This?
I am talking of a 3-4-year-old telling me. I'm not understand. We were told this at school, so I will call this number to report you because you are violating my right to play.
Wow.
So you are struggling, trying to keep somebody safe, and the person is doing everything to pull you down. So when they go out to play, you can see, call for more medication. Now, I have to go to make another visit to doctor. But this person,
for the right to play.
And you also empathize with the child because you want them to live a normal life, which is still not possible because of the circumstances. Oh my, it's tough. It's like a circus. You want to be normal, but your situation is not normal. It is not normal.
So if someone has a caregiver in their life and they want to support them, what would be one very practical thing that they could do for them to be a good support?
A caregiver?
No, someone like myself who's not a caregiver would like to support someone who is a caregiver. What is one practical thing they can do to support this caregiver?
First of all, seek to understand the condition that this caregiver is managing. And then once you've understood where you can, then you'll give the necessary support. Like I've cited the situation where I would take a child to hospital, then I say, I'll not leave this with the house help. Let this colleague who can manage the child better handle it. So I would transfer the child with their clothes and their drugs to my neighbor. So the neighbor would do what? Administer the medication. Other than that, I would cite this example where, like I say, I disclosed, and I would tell my daughter's teachers, in the event of this, then handle it in this manner. So by the time they are calling me, they are saying, we've noticed this, we've done this, what else can we do? So you see, they are supporting you. They are supporting you. So they are supporting you from a point of understanding, not ignorance.
Okay, that's really good.
Let people understand what you are dealing with. That way, they'll give the right support. Yes.
Okay. How would you advise other caregivers to basically survive? Like you said, you basically forgot you existed, you forgot all your needs. Now, while that was very good and an evidence of God's grace in your life, it's not the most practical reaction for people. So what would you advise when, say, they have a case just like yours, two very delicate children, not much support, especially financially, like from their job, in the kind of economy we are in, what would you advise?
It would be good to get professional support. If you can get a counselor to help you with the debriefs so that you cope, that would be very handy. If you can afford, get professional support, because we assume we are well, but in the long run you realize something happened to you. Something has happened to you as you are dealing with this situation. So where possible, get professional support. So that counseling really helps you cope with the condition. In fact, it strengthens one. It strengthens.
I heard at some point that there was some of these government organizations that offer these free counseling sessions. I think was it Red Cross or something?
Yes, Red Cross does, but even the public sector, whatever medical facilities, they have counselors. So if you have such a case and you can't afford to pay, because counseling service is relatively costly, I would say just reach out through their social services. You'll be linked with a counselor. So that counselor now helps you manage yourself. As you take the patient for reviews and the like, you are also given your sessions, so that you manage.
Right. I mean, I can't imagine how difficult this situation has to be. But you survived. You're a walking miracle.
I tell you, I am.
A complete walking miracle.
I look back. My biggest shock was when my daughter died, because the questions I asked those who are with her, they were like, but she was well. I said, are you sure she was well? Because no, she had even stopped this medication and that medication. I said, if I were there, she would not have stopped. Because this is a condition you live with for life. You don't stop medication. You do not stop medication. So of course we went by what we were given as the postmortem report, but I also feel there was an element of negligence, not medical, but not at the family level where this patient was. Yes, because we're told the epilepsy is a disability. So if those you are with are not supportive, cannot help you do that which is right, and they are okay with you not taking medication, then you worsen your condition, you worsen. When it strikes, it hits you very hard.
So this is if you stopped taking the medicine, or
you are not even supposed to stop the medication.
Ever.
This is a lifelong condition which is managed with medication. Yes. So we are told that there is someone who will tell you, no, you've not had a seizure for this long, you can stop. You haven't had because of the drugs you are on. But the moment you terminate the medication, the condition, and when yes, because now you've stopped medication, when it reoccurs, it is harsher than before, because before you are controlling, so medication kind of suppress. So
also now there's a complete deficit in the brain that just wow, this has been so enlightening. Thank you so much.
Caregiver.
Is there anything else you'd like to add for any of our listeners? Advice, encouragement?
I would say critical illness can strike at any time. And each and everybody is a candidate. You may not tell what will strike you or those around you. So when it happens, first and foremost, seek professional advice. Go to a medical facility. Self-diagnosis is one thing you should never opt for. Assuming those around you know best, so that they tell you about the medical, your condition and how you should do it. Don't, because that may aggravate your situation. Seek professional medical support at the earliest. Adhere to the diagnosis and management regime you are given. For a caregiver, I would say, no matter what, you are the nerve, you are like the spinal cord for this individual. If you crash, they crash. So do everything possible to ensure you are in a good state of mind at all times, so that you support them. And over and above that, never give up. Because with the good management, we are told you can be a champion. You will be the survivor. We are told, for instance, the sicklers do not live beyond 21. But there are those who've lived to 50 and even 60, ripe old age and even beyond. So with good management, even those around you may not know.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
May not know. So just be positive, because that is a condition you have to manage. Be it you or those you are taking care of. And by find a way to just accept and live with it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And of course, tell others your story. It's quite therapeutic when you talk about your story. It is therapeutic. At times you will talk, you'll get emotional, you will shed tears, but it's good. Cry.
It heals you slowly.
Yes. After that, you look back and I am better than before I talked about it. So don't hold back. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. It has been great having you.
Asante, karibu.